What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Bluff City. It's been about 6 weeks since the last episode of Bluff City, and it's been quite some time since we've made any progress in the city. Since then, I've been working on Paradise Valley. That's my City Skylines series focused on building the Las Vegas Strip. It's a series really unlike any other series on YouTube right now, so definitely go and check out those episodes. I really like the fact that it's just so different from Bluff City. It gives me an opportunity to really do other things. So when I started back working on Bluff City, I was really super excited to be back, and I wanted to return by making a whole lot of progress. And I just felt like I got a little too ambitious and I didn't get around to finishing everything that I wanted to. In this episode, we're working on filling in some of the gaps between the medical district and downtown. And again, the area was a lot bigger than I had anticipated. Prior to that, off camera, I did a lot of work on the interstate, the riverfront, and the main bridge leading into Bluff City. And I ended up moving the bridge so that I could create a little more space on the north side of downtown. I didn't include any of that footage because I really don't like working on roads, and it's one of my least favorite things to watch on other YouTube series. But the area that you're going to see today is on the edges of downtown, and it's really diverse. It's a mix of parking lots, empty and overgrown lots, warehouses and factories, low density commercial buildings, apartments, and some condos. But I'll give y'all an overview at the end of the episode, so I will check back with y'all after the time lapse. What's up, y'all? I'm back. Right here you can see the area that we worked on today. It's just north of or east of this main road and railroad. Right here we have some apartments that I worked on, and I'll probably go back and add some trees and some fences later on. Right here you can see an empty lot that's really representative of a lot of the area that I worked in on this episode. Here's another set of apartments, and I think these may be by Lost Gecko, and they really work well for the garden style apartments that I want to go for. And over here is like a factory, and I used some of my parking lots that I worked on in, I think, episode 10. As you saw in the time lapse, I really just copied and pasted a lot of details from my industrial area that I did. I used a lot of buildings from Fine Build and Exurbanite to just kind of fill in the area. Here's a U-Loads facility, and what I did is I really just copied and pasted sections of that from an earlier episode. Over here we have some new apartment or condo units that have sprung up in the warehouse district, and it looks like we have a liberal snowflake that just moved in, and these are by Lost Gecko too. I really like what I did with the outside of them, using some of my balconies to create a patio area. Moving over here you can see some more warehouses, and here's a whole section of empty lots and abandoned stores and factories. I used a lot of decals as well as these foundations that I started working on, but I never got around to finishing. And I just downloaded this new abandoned factory or warehouse by Spence. And it's a really good looking asset, and a lot of people have been talking about it on the internet. So I wanted to go ahead and use it in this area. I'm a little disappointed that I couldn't actually plan around it. I'm sure that I'll be able to use it a lot more in upcoming episodes and in different areas. So I think it works better offset from the street a little bit than facing right on the street. So let me go ahead and remove some of these trees and decals, because it just doesn't make sense to have the trees and decals there if it's going to be covered by the building. And y'all will have to excuse my voice a little bit. I'm a little under the weather, so if I sound a little bit muffled and jumbled more than usual, it's because I'm kind of struggling with my voice right now. I really don't think I've seen too much like this on the workshop in the past, just as far as the detail in the inside and the broken windows. I'm really impressed by this asset. However, it really doesn't inspire me to do anything similar or like it. I made my one little abandoned industrial building, and I think that's probably about it for me. I really enjoyed working on this area and the details with the parking lots and the empty buildings and abandoned lots. But I kind of realized going along that I may be adding a little too much into it. And so I just wanted to go ahead and move on to something else before I got too deep into the details. Over here, I didn't really get a chance to add a whole lot, and it's probably one of the things that I'm going to be working on for the next episode. Over here on the other side of the highway, we didn't get a chance to add any detail. I was just kind of placing buildings and filling things out. I think a lot of it is still going to be empty, But still, with the empty lots, you have to add a lot of detail just so it doesn't look like empty space on a computer game. Over here, again, I'm using the Contemporary Apartments by Lost Gecko. I really like these assets and I use them a lot. I haven't added any detail to this section, and hopefully I don't have to add a ton of detail because I don't want to get too hung up on the details and make it to the point where my city isn't really running as smoothly as I like. Moving back toward downtown, I'm using More Buildings by Fine Bill. This area is a lot of empty parking lots and space. So again, the challenge here in this area is to make these empty lots and spaces look realistic. I probably would just use a couple of fences to fill out this area and add some minor details. It would be real easy just to add more in different buildings, but to get a real feel for the type of city that it is, these empty lots and spaces are just really important, and to not have a certain amount of density. Right here is the Criminal Justice Center or Main Police Headquarters, and I clipped a couple of office buildings by Boldly Building. And again, usually I do not like clipping buildings. I don't like when other people do it. I don't like to do a whole lot of it myself. But at times it's just really necessary if you want a larger, more complex building. Across from that, we have some low density commercial buildings. I plan to add some pawn shops and Bell's Bondsmans in the next episode, as well as just adding some details and pulling the whole area together. But that's gonna wrap things up today for me. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Hopefully y'all hit the like button and subscribe. And I will see all of y'all in the next episode.